fall of Kabul is especially hard to watch for the men and women who sacrificed so much fighting America's longest war. Our ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco is live in Mission Valley, where many of those vets will go get some help. Rachel.
Hi, Steve. The vets we spoke with say their feelings are complicated, a mix of sadness and anger. Amber Robinson is a decorated Army veteran. She served a decade as a photojournalist on 3 deployments in Afghanistan. The immediate collapse of Kabul is not how she ever imagined the story of America's longest war would end.
When Kabul fell, we were all triggered.
And heartbroken for the people left behind.
Seeing the people trying to climb aboard the plane and clinging to it as it went to the sky, like that is the level of desperation that they're feeling.
Robinson says she was surprised at how quickly the Taliban took over, but she said she knew during her first deployment the Afghan military would never be a match.
The moment that you kill one Taliban leader, 3 more Taliban leaders are going to creep across the Pakistan border.
She suffers from PTSD and autoimmune disorders.
It's just a part of war. War is death. And so by the time my 3rd tour was ending, the deaths were starting to get to me.
As painful as it is to see this outcome, she believes military involvement should have ended a long time ago.
It'll give us all a chance to breathe. You know, we won't be so upset that people aren't following what's going on in Afghanistan, you know, because the war in Afghanistan doesn't exist anymore.
In spite of it all, she has no regrets.
I always tell people I learned what men will do to each other in the midst of war, but I also learned what men will do for each other in the midst of war. And that's something that I will always be so proud to have.
Profit called American History Theater. The organization uses theater to bring awareness about PTSD and other issues impacting our vets. Reporting live in Mission Valley, Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Rachel. And today we spoke to San Diego Immigrant Affairs Manager Farhat Popil about the conditions on the ground in Afghanistan. She was born there but escaped with her family decades ago. She talked to us about that experience.
My family left Afghanistan in the 1980s, fleeing the Soviet war, and they left everything behind. They left their homes, their possessions, their livelihoods, their professional careers. And to see Afghans today face a similar situation, to see my generation face a similar situation 35 years later, is incredibly hard.
Popal says great progress has been made over the past 20 years for women and girls, but she's afraid if the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan will reverse those gains.
What they face today is a situation where women who have worked with the international community, who have worked with the U.S. government, or have worked in any capacity toward democracy, human rights, women's rights, progress, opportunity, freedom of speech, all of that in their country over the last 20 years, they are fearful for their lives in this moment.
In her role as Immigrant Affairs Manager, she's tasked with advancing programs and policies that ensure the refugee and immigrant communities have the opportunity to succeed. She says the city would welcome Afghan refugees with open arms and compassionate hearts. And you can follow any developments surrounding the situation in Afghanistan by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
Now to the latest numbers on coronavirus here in San Diego County. More than 1,700 new cases were reported today. There were no new deaths. A group of San Diego Unified parents, students, and teachers are asking the district to take more safety measures to prevent the spread of COVID. They call themselves San Diegans for Safe Schools, and they say the data clearly shows that the Delta variant is more dangerous for children, and the district needs to improve its plan before classes start.
These are simple strategies that we all know work. Things like enforce masking with high-quality masks, require outdoor masking like other districts such as Los Angeles, San Francisco, Santa Clara, and Sacramento, and others have done. Take a closer look at your lax testing and quarantine rules that will likely not work, as we've already seen here and elsewhere.
The group also wants the deadline to sign up for virtual learning extended so parents do have more time to make that choice. Now, students in the Ramona Unified School District will have to wear masks when they return to school. Last night, the school board reversed that decision, which would have made the face coverings optional. Our ABC 10 News anchor Vanessa Van Hefty explains the move is generating a lot of controversy.
The Ramona Unified School District Superintendent telling 10 News today school will start on Thursday. Masks will be required, a decision that is sparking heated debate.
I'm simply begging for the freedom to choose. What I think is best for my children may not be best for yours. As board members, it's not your job to do what's popular. It's your foundational responsibility to ensure the safety of Ramona students at our schools. Following health guidance is the right thing to do for Ramona.
The board initially decided to make masks optional, but pulled back, voting Monday to require masking inside until it can sort out legal ramifications. Under Governor Gavin Newsom's executive order, all schools K through 12 are to wear masks inside. While the overwhelming majority of San Diego schools are abiding, Ramona and Alpine school districts bucked the trend, initially allowing parents to decide.
I'm here because I want to make the choice with whether or not my daughter wears a mask, and I don't think it's your right to do it.
Ramona wants to make sure it doesn't get sued, making sure legal bases are covered first, weighing how an optional mask mandate may impact the school's liability. Teachers may risk losing their license, and some board members fear a legal liability if kids get sick. Others worry insurance companies may drop coverage without the mandate. Vanessa Van Hefty, ABC 10 News.
The superintendent says that she will abide by all state guidelines for students and staff on Thursday. And there is an effort to try to extend the deadline for parents to choose a pass-fail option for their children's grades during the last school year. Now, in some districts, the deadline has already passed. In others, there are still a few days left for parents to make that choice. San Diego Assembly member Lorena Gonzalez wrote the law that gave parents the option. And today on ABC 10 News at 11, she explained why it could be a good choice for a lot of families.
We're trying to kind of write the course from last year, but allow kids to continue. So they know what their grades were. If, I'm just going to give an example. If you're a 3.8, 3.9 student, but you suddenly got a C or a D, it's a great opportunity to get that taken out of your grade point average and allow UC and CSU to really look at what you are outside of a pandemic year.
Gonzalez says they are looking into the possibility of the law to extend the deadlines for parents to choose. She also said that districts do have the ability to extend their deadlines themselves. Gonzalez recommends that parents who are interested call their district to discuss the options.
People attending major outdoor events in Los Angeles County will be required to wear a mask regardless of vaccination status under a new order issued by the county health department. That order says those attending outdoor mega events must wear a face covering at all times except when eating and drinking. That new mandate is in addition to existing orders issued last month, which require masks while entering most public indoor spaces. Meantime, the Biden administration is expected later this week to recommend that the majority of Americans get a booster shot 8 months after their second dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. As reporter Camila Bernal explains, this comes as the highly contagious Delta variant continues to drive up the number of hospitalizations across the U.S.
A COVID booster shot after 8 months. That appears to be the plan being developed by top health officials.
The data that the Biden administration is making these recommendations off of is still very preliminary, and these booster shots have not yet received FDA approval for anyone except for the immunosuppressed.
But the third shots for those vaccinated with Pfizer or Moderna could be administered beginning mid to late September, according to sources.
This is proactive, anticipating that more data is in the works, showing that it is both, that the vaccine's effectiveness seems to be waning a little bit over time, and that this Delta variant is worse.
And as vaccines remain in short supply in other parts of the world, others saying not so fast. The World Health Organization says the 2-dose mRNA vaccines provide long-lasting immunity and will not change its recommendation unless the science says otherwise.
All of the world's most vulnerable and those who are most at risk, health workers, need to receive their first and second doses before large proportions of the population, or all of the population in some countries, receive that third dose.
Doctors on the front lines say their urgent need is for more people to simply get their first shots.
This is so preventable at this point in the epidemic.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has tested positive for COVID-19. A spokesperson says Abbott is in good health and experiencing no symptoms. Abbott is isolating in the governor's mansion in Austin and receiving monoclonal antibody treatment. He was fully vaccinated earlier this year.
It is getting more expensive to rent here in San Diego.
So none of us get a 9.1% raise at work, but that's as high as the rent can go.
That is tough. Coming up, why local renters could see their rates go up by 9%. Plus,
this is not defund the police in any way. This is all about better outcomes.
Police departments are seeing success teaming up with mental health workers, why they say other cities can follow their models.
And cooler conditions are on the way. I'll pinpoint all of the changes coming up in your full weather forecast. We're back in 90 seconds.
San Diegans who recently signed leases could be hit with more than 9% rent increases next year. Our ABC 10 News reporter John Horn explains the pandemic's key part in an unprecedented situation.
David French has figured out how to get by in San Diego. Some of his buddies have had to leave.
Rent is increasing down here, and if you don't find a stable job, it is hard to survive down here.
French rents a one-bedroom apartment in the UTC area for more than $2,000 a month. He hopes to stay.
You know, play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. I've been here for about 5 years. I've made it work, so I think so.
But remaining in San Diego County will be a bit more challenging for many renters because in 2022, they could be in for a big rent hike. Even if you got a raise at work during the pandemic, it probably wasn't as high as 9.1%. That's the amount many landlords in San Diego County will be able to increase their rents come next year. Under a state law passed in 2019, each year landlords can raise rents by 5% plus inflation, normally about 2%. But San Diego County's rate of inflation more than doubled in the pandemic to 4.1% as of March. Under the law, renters who signed leases on or after August 1st could see increases of up to 9.1% once their leases expire. But landlords may not raise it by that much. In a statement, the Southern California Rental Housing Association noted many housing providers kept rents flat last year or temporarily lowered them in the pandemic. The association said members are eager to work with their renters to find solutions that work for everyone. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
The state law caps rent increases at 10% each year. It does not apply to a variety of homes, including apartments that were built in the last 15 years and mom and pop single family homes.
Firefighters in Northern California are dealing with even more dangerous conditions this week. Winds near the Dixie Fire have picked up, feeding flames and moving them towards more populated areas. Right now, the flames are just a few miles from Lassen County, home to more than 18,000 residents. Red flag warnings and critical weather alerts have been issued. The Dixie Fire has already destroyed more than 1,000 homes and other buildings and is only a third contained. Tropical Depression Fred is causing problems up and down the East Coast today. Cameras caught a tree that toppled over after a tornado in Georgia. More severe weather is expected. The National Weather Service says heavy rain could cause flash floods in upstate New York. Mudslides and more twisters are expected in several other southern states. The National Hurricane Service says Tropical Storm Grace could become a hurricane as it moves toward the Caribbean and North America.
This 10 News Pinpoint Weather Report is sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Nobody wows clients like we do.
ABC 10 News weathercaster Melissa Messiha is joining us today with a look at our forecast. It looks very pretty behind you, Mel.
Yeah, it's nice and clear as we take a live look at our mountains. We do still have a slight chance for thunderstorms, but that chance is going to diminish here as we continue on with the week. Right now, if you take a look at our satellite and radar, you can see mostly clear in the inland parts of our county. Some of those clouds hugging our coastline right now as we continue on with our Tuesday. What we are seeing right now are pretty high dew point temperatures, especially in our inland spots. Poway near 70, so pretty muggy there. We're seeing the upper 60s in Escondido and we're seeing the 60s as well along our coastline. So we are going to start to see those dew point temperatures go down, though, as we continue on with the week. For now, our temperatures, we're at 82 currently in Escondido, 75 in Julian. We're still in the triple digits in our deserts, low 70s right now in La Jolla, Del Mar, and Carlsbad. If it felt a little bit cooler today, well, you were right. Compared to just 24 hours ago, we were anywhere between 1 to 6 degrees cooler here throughout the county. And that's a trend that's going to continue as we go on into the rest of the week. So we are going to see cooler conditions for the second half of this week. That monsoonal moisture finally weakening, so it's not going to be as humid. But we are going to be dealing with the possibility of drizzle tonight, as early as tonight, and then over the next couple of days. First, let's take a look at our water temperatures here. Pretty nice, pretty comfortable. Anywhere between 72 to 74 degrees. Our rain futurecast. So again, anything that we get is going to be pretty light, pretty scattered. We could see some raindrops by tomorrow morning along our coastline, and then it will be on and off here for the next couple of days. By Thursday morning, we could see it a little bit more scattered throughout the county. So Thursday in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll continue to watch that. Hopefully we pick up some measurable amounts. I'm not going to be too impressed, though, with whatever we get. Our overnight temperatures here will be in the low 60s along the coast, mid 60s inland, cooler in our mountains into the 50s. The deserts, our overnight temperatures will be in the mid 70s. For tomorrow, your forecast highs, at least we're not seeing the 90s inland, will be in the low 80s El Cajon, near the mid 80s in Escondido, and then comfortable along our coastline, mid to upper 70s throughout the coast. Your 7-day forecast, we're going to stay in the 70s range over the next several days. We do start to see a warm up as we look ahead to next week, but let's focus on the short term and some of the good news that's coming as we head into the weekend. We'll be in the low 80s inland by Friday, those overnight in the low to mid 60s. In our mountains, we'll be in the mid 60s or mid 70s rather over the next couple of days. The deserts finally at least the low triple digits, and then 98, 99 Thursday into Friday. Guys.
All right, thanks, Mel. And now it's time to get a check of time saver traffic with Officer Jim Betancourt. How's it looking, Jim?
Well, it is a busy night out there around the county at this hour. Right now, the westbound side of the 94 to the southbound side of the 15, they just cleared some debris that was in the roadway there. So you're going to see some backup through this area as you travel through there at this time. Quite a few crashes out there around the county to talk about. Southbound side of the 5 at Mission Bay, northbound 5 at Pershing, the southbound side of the 15 at El Cajon Boulevard, and the northbound side of the 125 at Hamishaw. So watch out for those. 78 right now is looking pretty good throughout the county, through this area right now. You're going to see just a bit of slowing through San Marcos and Vista. I'm Officer Jim Betancourt with your 10 News Time Saver Traffic.
Jim, thank you. San Diego State is celebrating a milestone as it works to build its new Mission Valley campus at the old stadium site. You can see down below, today marks 1 year since the official groundbreaking on the project. Sky 10 flew over the site just this afternoon, and from above you could clearly see the new stadium is really taking shape. University says that both the stadium and the academic portion of the campus, they're on schedule. They expect the stadium to be ready for the first game of the 2022 season.
Actress Selma Blair says she's in remission from multiple sclerosis. Coming up, she explains how her health struggles are now giving her hope.
Skycam Views, sponsored by Carlsbad Solar.
Now to an update on actress Selma Blair. She says she is now in remission from the multiple sclerosis that she was diagnosed with 3 years ago. And her prognosis is apparently great. ABC's Will Reeves shows us what lies ahead for the actress.
Actress Selma Blair announcing her MS is in remission.
I've been given a second chance at life.
While promoting her new Discovery Plus documentary Introducing Selma Blair, the 49-year-old, known for roles in movies like Cruel Intentions and Legally Blonde, shared the news with a Television Critics Association panel, saying, "My prognosis is great. Stem cell treatments put me in remission. It took about a year after stem cell for the inflammation and lesions to really go down." MS, short for multiple sclerosis, is an autoimmune disease that can cause vision loss, pain, fatigue, and impaired coordination.
It damages the nerves and their insulation. And that damage then leads to the accumulation of neurologic symptoms.
Blair says she endured chemotherapy and a stem cell transplant to essentially reboot her nervous system.
By eliminating the abnormal immune system in MS and then allowing it to redevelop more normally, it can effectively treat the abnormal inflammation in the disease.
Remission in MS can last for weeks, months, and even years, but it doesn't mean the disease is cured.
There's no indication of disease activity. Sometimes people in remission in MS have some residual symptoms. Increasingly, we realize that the nervous system can repair itself. We need to get the disease under control to stop more damage and to allow the natural repair processes to take hold.
In 2019, Robin Roberts spoke with Blair after her diagnosis. Her difficulty speaking a symptom of MS.
Let's go back. When you were first diagnosed, what initially went through your mind?
I cried. I had tears. They weren't tears of panic. They were tears of knowing I now had to give in to a body that had loss of control. And there was some relief in that, because ever since my son was born, I was in an MS flare-up and didn't know. And I was giving it everything to seem normal.
Now, Blair says, her struggle has given her perspective and hope to suddenly start to find an identity and a safety in me to figure out boundaries, time management, and energy. I'm having the time of my life.
That was ABC's Will Reeve reporting there. Recent findings from a national MS Society study estimate that nearly 1 million people in the U.S. are living with MS.
Trial now underway for the man accused of shooting and killing a San Diego police officer more than 5 years ago. Body camera video played in court showing the chaotic moments. Coming up, the different scene the defense painted in its opening arguments. And fully vaccinated Americans could be rolling up their sleeves for another dose of the COVID vaccine. What we know about possible recommendations for a booster shot.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
Another dose of the COVID-19 vaccine is now a very likely possibility. As we told you earlier in this newscast, the Biden administration is expected to advise booster shots for most Americans. Joining us now to talk about this is Dr. Dennis Burton with the Scripps Research Institute in La Jolla. Thank you for being with us here today, Dr. Burton.
Great to be with you.
All right, so we're hearing that people should get this booster shot 8 months after their second dose. Why are we talking about 8 months?
That's an estimate based on the fact that the immunity is declining, and it seems like around that period, very approximately, we see more breakthrough infections. So that would seem to be a reasonable time to think about a boost.
Israel has already gone through trials like this. Is this pretty similar to what they did over there?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. It's the same basic concept. They vaccinated earlier than us. They have seen breakthroughs earlier than us, and they've responded by vaccinating everyone, or trying to. I think under 50 is the latest advice there.
That brings me to my next question. So what can we expect this rollout to look like? Are we talking probably, again, healthcare workers first and then the elderly as well?
I don't know what the administration's plans are here. I would suspect it'll probably be more general. The